Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another one of them ones where I am thoroughly confused by humanity and the things people do and say and how people like to pick and choose which is bad and which is evil and which is good and which is the morally righteous take to have because everyone's inconsistent and everyone's unfair. Do I need to establish to you all that in case you are not aware, Charlie Kirk is dead and they've had a memorial, they've paid respects, they've paid tributes, they've had their vigils, we've even had a little bit of fun at the stupid people. It is time to get to the important matter at hand. Who's next? Not in the case of who's getting shot next, but who's going to take the mantle and lead the charge of Turning Point USA? Could it be his wife, who would be the likely option here? Could it be the employees who are trying their best to man the ship in honor of their fallen comrade, employer, and friend? Could it be the friends who are trying their best to fill positions so that that legacy Charlie Kirk left will always remain strong for the future generations? Or could it maybe be friends who at current moment are not doing a good job honoring a person that they claim was their friend while they were alive? It's all interesting ways to look at it, but I think we should go the more drastic route. Random people who are copying this idea and thinking that they're going to have a fun time, because word on the street is that there were two guys, maybe more, who were going on a fearless tour, going to different college campuses and doing the same thing Charlie Kirk was doing, debating people on important or pressing topics that are going on in American society. And they decided on their current excavation for Discourse to go to an HBCU and have these signs up. And while you could think that this would inspire a bunch of cool, calm, and collective conversation, it devolved so dramatically.
All we did was set up a table. TSU no more, boy. Can't even hear you.
Very safe, very black, and very tired of this.
They did not walk this way. They walked that way. No doubt. God did not walk this way. They walked that way. Look, can you be on camera real quick? What's up? Hey, what's up, man? Like, oh, pressing hell. You feel me? Like, it's a crazy day out here in TSU. You feel me? Hold up.
Now, you might have watched that and thought that this was going to be the part where I spend a dedicated amount of time talking about these really sissified college students who can't handle civil dialogue. Well, I will, but first we got to establish a few things. When we're talking about wanting to go on college campuses and wanting to engage with the college students to see their thoughts and opinions on current topics, you would do your best in wanting that civil dialogue to operate in the realm of civility. And unfortunately, I don't think these individuals did such a thing. Why do I think that? Well, you could throw out many different reasons. Reasons. We're going to focus on the statement brought out by the university where they say that these individuals did not have approval to host whatever it is that they were hosting. And that right there creates a little problem for me because it invites the idea that you're not there for a civil dialogue. You can get it from somebody.
How was America great when Donald Trump became president?
I'll give you a good example. For example, something that all of us have benefited from are the 2017 Trump Jobs and Tax Act. Regardless of what your skin color is, regardless of your gender, this is one thing that focuses on your income. So regardless of race, any of those factors is just your income. Individuals that earn between $15,000 to $50,000 receive a tax break anywhere between 18 to 26%. If you earn between $50,000 and $100,000, which is the average American median income, you got a tax break between 15 to 17%. That means, let's say you make $100,000, you probably saw about a $15,000 tax rebate just because of what Trump passed. Now, let's look at median household income. It increased to the highest it's ever been, $5,000 higher than under Obama's administration, simply because Americans were able to put more money in their pockets. I think we can all agree here, regardless of what our race is that when we have more money in our pockets, we like that. We can do more things with that. We can invest into things, right? We can enjoy more stuff like that. So I think that is a great example of how Trump's policies, a lot of people say Trump is racist. Well, hey, his policies are definitely not racist.
But ultimately, it'll be in my mind that you are there to get a moment. You're there to get a reaction. You're there to see somebody be outraged at the signs that you have and be some bombastic gesture of I'm defending my group or other groups because you people are disrespectful.
Hey, you can't don't do that. Come on. Yo.
Oh, you better not, boy. You better not.
Okay.
Bring the sign back.
So that you could then post that on social media and a bunch of people can react. And how do I amplify my thought process around that? Well, it's been, I believe, a day or two since it occurred because I'm recording this on Friday. And what have I seen? Woke college kids rage, woke college kids mauled, college kids see that signs, because when you're having that idea in your mind of civil dialogue doesn't gain any traction online because it's boring. Civil dialogue is like thrown to the wayside after as a means to say, hey, everybody wasn't losing their minds. It's never really the thing that gets the millions of views, the hundreds of thousands of views. No. It's the reaction of, oh, my signs are getting taken. Oh, they're threatening me. Oh, they're all laughing at me. Oh, they have their signs that say BLM, because it's more engaging and enticing to say liberals rage than it is to say, hey, this liberal disagreed with me and we spent about 50 minutes talking, 40 minutes talking, an hour talking, and you know, I learned some things and they learned some things, because the internet is filled with negativity more than it is positivity, and that's the cesspool we all play a hand in. But when we're watching all of this play out and we're seeing that these people are not getting their approval to actually be on this campus, and we're seeing people shift the blame to, oh, you're all a bunch of emotionally unintelligent college kids. And then I see Gothix's video where she's saying that, you know, when people do these things and they write these things on these signs, it's important to do that because we have to get people to engage in the conversation.
When I go to college campuses with the walkaway campaign, we also have signs that are intentionally meant to be provocative, because that is the way that you get people to come to the table and engage with you.
So you're egging people on in the hopes that after you've pissed them off with words on a board, they're going to sit down and talk to you. No, that's not really how you get constructive conversation. That's not how you get people to engage. Yes, it's important to try to put your finger on the pulse of civil dialogue and conversation around these topics. But when you have it in your mind that you want to have some juicy thing to say so that you could see what people are going to do, you immediately destroy any type of conversation that you could have, because you admit you're doing it in a means to try to get somebody in. You're trying to get them to take the bait which is not how you create that civil dialogue to me. You create this little cascade of a bunch of people running around hoping that they could see somebody do something, or that person does something stupid in response. Because let's be honest, if we're really gonna be frank, a lot of these college kids don't have the strongest sentiment when it comes to dialogue. Some of them are high, some of them are low IQ, some of them don't really have the functioning brain capacity to debate about deportation, DEI, trans rights. A lot of them just smoke and mirrors and yell, and once they get their moment, they walk away thinking that they've saved the youth, when ultimately they've embarrassed their entire generation. And I feel like the point isn't hammered home enough, so I'm gonna add this part in. You don't necessarily, or at least in my case, I'm gonna speak for me in this moment, I don't necessarily see videos going mega viral, millions of views, that pertain to two people who disagree and they're just talking. No, Jubilee doesn't count. Jubilee is a fucking embarrassment to any form of discourse, and I will not have anybody use that as a metric for how people should be talking to one another. That is fucking embarrassing, and fuck everyone who works at Jubilee. But when we're sitting here thinking about dialogue and what goes viral, you mainly see the negative things. You see someone losing their mind. You see someone very upset. Oh, person steals property, vandalizes property because they don't know how to debate trans topics, black on black crime, gay rights, women's rights, and any of these things. It's never really that civil dialogue that gains the most traction. It could after, and like I said earlier, as a means to be like, well, see, we did have a few people be respectful. Here, look at this, after you have already consumed mountains of videos of people that will cry at the sign of seeing something that they disagree with. And I find that to be tedious. In my head, it's tedious because we don't get that civil discourse. All we get is further examples of people who disagree bickering with one another. We got people running around saying it's good versus evil, it's left versus right, it's yada versus yada, it's yin versus yang, and we never really see the actual disagreements be talked about and people leave on good terms, and that alone be the thing that goes viral. And my issue, to really circumvent it all and to put it in this nice conglomerate, is that if you're going to go on these campuses and do it, get the approval of the college campuses. I'm almost certain they'll let you do it as long as you go through the proper channels, because just showing up and thinking that you could just do it is going to invite a bigger issue down the line. And if you're somebody who is often disturbed by the idea of seeing people at these raggedy piece of shit tables with these raggedy makeshift signs, and you're very upset about that, book it the other direction and don't even bother. Why is it that when I see people online talk about negativity and how you should block it out, nobody ever does it? If I were to see something that I know was just not going to be something I wanted to see, I'm not going to waste my time being on camera saying, fuck you people, beat on that fucking table, and I'm going to flip the table. I'm just going to go home. That's precious beat meat time that I'm wasting seeing something that I don't even want to engage in. I could be stroking it nice and pleasurably, but instead I'm sitting here rummaging through a bunch of shit that I don't even care about in the conversation because I'm failing my college classes.
This happened yesterday at Tennessee State University in Nashville, Tennessee. Those of you who don't know, Tennessee State is an historically black college university, an HBCU. These two, and whatever group they're part of, say that they're going on an HBCU tour to debate. Now, let's be honest. They're not showing up on HBCU campuses to debate. They're showing up to agitate us, to agitate our children, and to incite a response from us. To all my young brothers and sisters attending an HBCU, don't give them what they want. The fact is that they just cannot seem to just leave us alone. We didn't ask to be bothered, but yet and still they feed off of bothering us. And they want to agitate us. They want our young people to respond in a violent way so that it substantiates their point of us being violent people. Do not give them what they want. So young brothers and sisters, if you see these groups on your college campus, on your HBCU campus, don't give them what they want. Ignore them. Just keep walking by as if you do not see them. That will anger them more than you sitting there yelling back and forth at them. Don't give them what they want. So my young brothers and sisters, the only response they should see from you is that you're unbothered, that you're so unbothered by their tactics to incite.
And here's what I want to ask to wrap this up, because I feel like some people are going to hear certain moments of this video and they're going to be very upset that I'm having criticism for the dudes of the Fearless Tour who went and did this thing. And my question to you that is pretending to be very upset right now is, what is the legacy of Charlie Kirk? Is it a guy who wanted to do something and he started it, I believe, as a teenager and grew it into this big thing and then got it to a point where he could get the approved channels and the approvals to go on college campuses and speak to college students? Yes, sometimes a little hostile. Yes, sometimes civil, and be able to have that dialogue that many people now are using as a means to say Charlie did it best? Or was he somebody that inspired a bunch of people to just go get a fucking reaction out of a bunch of college kids? Because if you watch this and you don't recognize that these dudes are not doing Charlie a good service, congratulations. While you're over here trying to make Charlie out to be this great human being who did all these things, your opposition is over there using this moment at TSU and saying Charlie Kirk inspired a bunch of racists to be racist to other people. And now that he's dead, they're going to pick up the mantle of leader of the racists.
Know that TSU was an HBCU until the night before. He didn't know until they told him on campus.
There is nothing worse than a liar, because if you're a liar, you'll steal, you'll do everything. These guys knew that they were coming to Tennessee State University, which is a historically black college and university. They knew exactly what they were doing. Their goal was to agitate and antagonize those students. But what they did not think was going to happen is that they would be escorted off the campus because they tried to run roughshod. So now, once the media has gotten a hold of this story, because this is a big story here in Nashville, and it has also made national rounds, especially protecting HBCUs. Now the next message is, well, we didn't know. We didn't know we were there. That is what is wrong with these people. You know, I had all kinds of comments from my previous video, and people were talking about, oh, well, you should be able to debate people, you know, just because you have differences, you should be able to debate. No, these people are liars, okay? They got caught up in their shit. And now it's a problem. They get on the local news and say, we didn't know. And that is some bullshit. They had the wrong intentions. They got caught up in their shit. And now you didn't know. But we don't forget.
Okay, MAGA people, y'all can support that troll, run behind him and do whatever y'all want. But for y'all to pull up at an HBCU college, Tennessee State University, thinking that y'all getting ready to rally for Trump is wild behavior. Y'all to pull up and think that y'all gonna be walking with open arms after y'all just sat up here and threatened multiple HBCU colleges is crazy. Y'all master didn't do nothing about it. Y'all gotta learn your place and your lane. Every lane is not for y'all. Y'all are not welcomed everywhere. Y'all are not wanted everywhere. So for y'all to be surprised that they slapping signs on y'all windows and stuff, what did y'all think was gonna happen? He's not welcome, which means you guys are not welcome. Y'all deserve exactly what y'all got. Cause go sit down somewhere. Find your lane and stay there. Trump is not welcomed everywhere. Sorry, he's not.
Shout out to the students at Tennessee State University that forced away racist Trump supporters that gathered on their campus. This is exactly how we need to be dealing with racism. Black people's humanity is not up for debate, and HBCUs were created to give black people a space to learn away from the disruption of white supremacy. I don't know why white conservatives have like this weird obsession with us. TSU put out a statement supporting the students, saying that at all times they acted in an appropriate manner and that they escorted that dork-ass white boy Cam Higsby off of campus. And I'm glad they didn't give him a platform for his stupid debate me bro playbook. They demand that serious people engage with their, conspiracy theories and extreme bigoted takes, and if you refuse, they'll cry censorship, or that people are afraid of the truth. And if you do accept it, then they turn into this stupid spectacle where they just try to generate internet clout and false validation. It's like a win-win situation for them that has nothing to do with genuine intellectual discourse.
A small swarm of maggots has gathered in my Charlie Kirk video comment section talking about how Charlie Kirk did not hate black people. He indeed loved the black community and how he was not a racist, and how those comments and those videos were all taken out of context. And there has been one comment that I've made that I have never gotten a response to. That is when I asked them, if that's the case, please explain to me what Charlie Kirk meant when he said black women, such as myself, do not have the brain processing power to be taken seriously. And in order to get their jobs in high positions, like any job I had in government or in law, it was an affirmative action choice, and I took the slot of a white person. So I asked that question to all of the maggots, and they don't respond. Not one has written me back. You know why? Because that reality that he actually said that and he actually was a racist goes against whatever the heck they've created in their head, whatever image or fantasy they've created in their head about who Charlie Kirk was and who their party is. Trump, MAGA, Republicans, not all conservatives. Trump, MAGA Republicans specifically, they live in this land of delusion and propaganda. If you say something enough times, that's not true, loud enough, it won't be true to them. It doesn't matter how much evidence or proof, or if you show them the facts right in front of their faces, they will not believe it. It's kind of like how we said that Trump was going to destroy this country if he became president, and how they were like, no, he's not, he's that guy. They were calling Trump dad, daddy. Y'all remember that. So you can't really approach them with facts or reality because they have alternate facts and alternate reality. They don't exist in the same plane as us mentally. This is my open call to all maggots. I will delete that video. I will post an apology video to Charlie Kirk fans and family and whoever the hell else. If you guys can explain to me, a black woman, why Charlie Kirk's comment about how I do not have the brain processing power to be taken seriously and how any job or position that I've had has been an affirmative action pick other than paper shuffling jobs, because I'm just not as intelligent as my white counterparts. If anybody can explain how that is not racist or how that is true or factual or accurate, or how Charlie Kirk didn't actually say that even though we have him on video in 4K, I'll delete my video and post an apology. It's any of you. I'm waiting for it.
You realize that in terms of getting people to understand what Charlie Kirk was about, this does not help him. It hinders him. It hurts him. It hurts his legacy. And as someone who has no ties to Charlie Kirk whatsoever and has just been watching a different set of Charlie Kirk videos just so that I could understand, I'm a little bit annoyed seeing what these dudes did, because personally, as someone with no ties to Charlie, I view it as a drastic slap in the face to the things that he was doing. I view it as him not being respected for the effort he put in. And these are not the only people who do things like this. Let me make it very clear. There are others who play this game of going on college campuses and just going with the set of, fuck it, let's just see if we could get a moment out of somebody. So let's get that clear. This is not just exclusive to them, but it's a wider conversation of how are you going to uphold the standards of a man who you claim to care about's legacy? Are you going to honor it by doing what he did and maybe doing it a little better? Or are you going to disrespect it and then hide behind it because you think that's the better way to go? And with that, I will leave you to your own days in the comments section down below. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next one. Mwah! Goodbye.